I'm so pleased to be interviewing you. So,
well, nice to sit down.
How was your first demonstration?
Fine, yes, it's the first one is always difficult, but I'll get better. Hope you're coming to the next one.
Mary, I think that you are definitely the queen of demonstrations by now.
I'm just myself. No fancy frills here.
Well, that's all you can do.
It's so exciting to be with you.
It's so exciting for you to be my first ever person
winner of the Great British Bake Off. How long ago?
3 years ago now.
It seems like yesterday. I can remember the glee on her face when she won. She couldn't believe it, could you?
I think it was the total shock, Mary.
And so what, I shouldn't be interviewing her, but I will. So what are you doing next? How are your cookery classes?
They're going very well.
I'll keep quiet, she's supposed to be questioning me.
So Mary, tell us, where are you, what are you doing, what are you doing here today?
Here I am doing 4 lots on stage, and you've got the most wonderful brochure when you come in. All the recipes are there. You don't have to scribble on the back of an envelope. They really have thought of everything at this show. You're very spoiled. And I'm here with questions and answers. And Annabelle has come, my daughter's come with me because poor Lucy, who's my assistant of 24 years, is not well.
Oh,
so Annabelle's sort of left 3 children with her husband.
I'm sure she'll be pleased with the break, Mary.
Yes, and the youngest is 3. And she is, they're all lovely. I can't say any more about it.
So I've been asked, look, I told on my Facebook page, I mentioned that I would be interviewing you today, and I've had lots and lots of questions to give you. So one of the questions was, how old was you when you started to cook or bake?
How old was I when I started to bake? I was quite old actually, when I hear how young they bake now. I first took up cooking really at school. I was lucky, and we had domestic science. And then in my day it was proper cooking, none of this, the science of food you never get your hands in, which I think is quite wrong. Let's hope it comes back to schools, it's on its way, and that every child, boy and girl, learns to do nutritious meals. That's what it's about, not snacks, meals.
Dylan, my youngest son, did home economics at school, but he would not tell me until 9 o'clock the night before, and he'd been, oh Mum, I have cookery tomorrow and I need this, and he'd pull this list out. I swear it used to go from the ceiling to the floor of all the ingredients he needed. So fortunately the store's all open 24 hours now. So Mary, who was your biggest inspiration to start you on?
My biggest inspiration was a lady called Miss Date, my domestic science teacher. A little round lady, and she was so kind. She used to say, "That tasted good, you've done well." And everybody else has said, "Your arithmetic's dreadful, your English is awful, why haven't you done your homework?" And my cookery teacher. And I kept up with her till her dying day in her nursing home, and I have a lot to be grateful for.
Oh Mary, you gave me goose pimples. That's so nice. I was the same. My home economics teacher was called Mrs. Hayes, and she was the only one her and my childcare teacher, they was the only 2 that really believed in me. So if you could work with any chef in the world, who would it be? Other than obviously Mr. Old Blue Eyes himself.
Well, I thought Hugh Jackman, but he doesn't cook very well. No, I really love most of the chefs, because they give us lots of hints and tips and skills that we don't know. I love watching them, but sometimes it's a bit long-winded. I think my recipes have few ingredients, and you get going and cook, and you have most of the things in your cupboard, if not round the corner in the shop.
That's the best way, isn't it? So I love the Weekend magazine, and in there they say that if there was no time constraints, or you could eat in 3 places, one for breakfast, one for lunch, and one for dinner. You've got a TARDIS, so you can get there without any problems. Where would they be? And who win?
Oh, This is pretty difficult, isn't it? Well, I think I would, the last one would be to tell my family what I'd been doing and to brag and to say, wasn't it delicious and wasn't he wonderful? And I would fly to breakfast, definitely, to somewhere warm. I don't really mind where it is. And it would be on a seafront. Who would it be with? I know what you'd like, Paul Hollywood, all right. And then my second one, to have my lunch. I think I would like to be in the heart of London, and I would be in one of the restaurants. I can't make up my mind which one. I love them all.
Okay. So, what about your 6 dinner party guests, dead or alive? Who would they be?
Oh, my 6 dinner party guests would be my friends. I'm sorry about that. They're far more important to me than meeting celebrities. I would have all my close friends, and it would be a kitchen supper.
For sure, that's the best. That's the best dinners, isn't it? When you've got people there who you love. So, Mary, how have things changed since you began at Woman and Home magazine?
Everything's changed. I'm quite ancient, and of course when I was even on Home and Freezer Digest, which none of you will ever have heard of, you know, we had the excitement of foil arriving, cling film. I mean, it just makes you all laugh. Polythene bags, you know, we used to have greaseproof bags. You know, there's been so many changes, and all for the better. And also we have wonderful machines now that you know, speed up our cooking. I've just been doing a demonstration, and you know, I know that some people like to knead by hand, but I do everything by machine, in a processor or in a machine, because I can get so much more done. And also, don't get my hands dirty, because you never know when the doorbell's going to ring, do you? So a lot has changed, and also there's been the arrival of all sorts of new fruits and ingredients. You know, things like fennel weren't available. You know, some people would have grown it. Avocados. I mean, all sorts of things. And butternut squash. Even 5 years ago, nobody used butternut squash, and we're all mad about it now. And it's easy to grow as well.
Fantastic. So, Mary, you have sold 5 million books. How amazing. I think that really deserves a round of applause. A huge round of applause, young lady. So, what is, if you had to pick one of your recipes, and I know this is really hard for me because I've got 2 books, and people ask me and I'm always stumped, but which recipe stands out to be your favourite one?
I think most people say I make your lemon drizzle cake.
Yes.
Because it's something that you've usually got the ingredients in the cupboard, and you've got a lemon, and everybody loves it. You can put it in the freezer. You know, forget your cupcakes. Lemon drizzle made in the roasting tin or a tray baked tin is a winner.
So actually, Mary, my audition cake for you was a lemon drizzle cupcake.
Oh, how lovely.
And you said it was one of the finest sponges you tasted.
Whoopee.
That always stuck in my mind. So, if you was a cake, which cake would you be? If you were a cake, which cake would you be?
Which cake would I be if I were a cake?
Yes.
Well, I won't be that cake on Strictly that I had to come out of. Do you remember that? Oh, I'll tell you the story about that, because I will not go on Strictly, okay? I've been asked many times, and if you saw my movement and dancing, it is rubbish. And my children and don't you start. My children and my husband all said, Mum, you wouldn't, would you? And so that cake was very memorable because I had to get inside it. And then they played the music of If I Knew You Were Coming, I'd Have Baked a Cake. And at a certain 4 bars, I was to jump out. And I said, I can't hold the lid and count 4 bars. So there was a little slip of a girl who was a researcher and she came in and sat inside the cake, and she was listening for the 4 bars, and then she said, jump! So that's my memorable cake.
That's so funny.
Not funny, it was live.
Mary, that's really funny. Mary and I, Mary came back to my room at Good Food, not last Christmas, the Christmas before, and we sat on my bed in the hotel and we watched Strictly together, didn't we? Do you remember?
We did indeed. It's all good fun.
Mary does love Strictly. So, Mary, I looked at an old menu the other day, and they were serving fruit juice as a starter, and it really made me laugh because it reminded me, you know, you used to, I don't know, does anybody remember when you used to get a little glass of fruit juice or an egg with some mayonnaise piped into the top of it, or some sort of egg mayonnaise?
Or if you were lucky, you'd get or tomato juice.
Yes, or a tomato juice.
That was the first course in an ordinary place when you went out. That was or you might have got tinned grapefruit.
Yes, or fruit cocktail as well, with
and
a
then
cherry on the top.
Moved up to a slice of melon.
Yes, there was. Also, Mary, we need you to ask the audience a question because we have a giveaway for £20 for a Lakeland voucher. Can you think of a question for us, please?
Who was runner-up when Jo was... who were the other 2 in the final?
Oh my
when
goodness,
Jo,
you had to have 2.
It was 2, wasn't it?
It was 2.
Who were the other 2 in the Great British Bake Off when Jo won?
Year 2.
Year 2.
Can
anybody know?
Remember?
Yes, this little girl says she does. You better go find her.
I shall go over and find her. Let's see.
Is it Connie and Marianne?
It is. Well done, you. Come and get your voucher.
How amazing is that?
That's fantastic. Well done, you. Here we go. Enjoy your voucher.
So now, listen, what's your name? Come and sit by me.
So, has anybody got any questions for Mary? Here we are.
Hi Mary. Out of all the recipes that you've obviously done really well in,
Get your mic a bit nearer to your voice.
Is that better? Out of all the recipes that you've done amazingly well on, what's the one cake or bake that just you can't get? You just hate. You hate doing it. It always gets the better of you.
I think you mean the one that I don't like or the one that I do like?
The one that just always proves difficult to do.
Proves difficult to do?
You just can't quite get.
Oh, now what was that cake that we did in the bake-off? There's a chocolate in the last one. Thing there. Opera cake.
Oh.
I'll tell you something, I'm never going to make that again. So, what's your favourite cake?
Lemon drizzle.
Lemon drizzle. And who do you cook with at home?
My dad and my mum.
What are they best at?
Key lime pie.
They are. Bless you. How's it like, Mum?
Has anybody else got any questions? Any more questions? Over there. Here we go. I'll pass the mic.
If there's any cake you could try again from the Great British Bake Off that someone else has baked, which one would it be?
I say that again.
If you could try any cake again from the Great British Bake Off that someone has baked, which one would it be?
Oh, it would be the key lime pie, funnily enough. You said key lime pie. Definitely, it was lovely. I think it was Ryan's key lime pie. But, I've enjoyed so much on the Bake Off. And, but I taste every single one, and that's important.
She does. Has anybody else got any questions for Mary? Here we are.
What is the oldest piece of kitchen or cooking equipment in your kitchen? What have you had for the longest?
Myself, I think. The oldest piece of I've got a lot of old. I've got an old ricer, which is a thing that does mashed potato that my mother had. I've got mortar and pestles. My husband's father was a chemist, and he had a set of 3, and I've inherited them. I like everything old. It usually works best.
Sure. Here we go. I'll come round.
What's your favourite family recipe for Christmas?
My favourite family recipe for Christmas, I always make a fish pie for Christmas Eve, because everybody likes it. And my mother used to make it, I make it, and it's different from all the Christmas food. My other favourite things are my stuffings. I love a lot of stuffing in a separate dish with Christmas. And this year I've got a Christmas programme, and I'm doing all sorts of different stuffings and sprouts with chestnuts and pancetta. So get cooking.
So that's it for us, unfortunately. That went so fast, Mary.
Enjoy your day and have a wonderful time here. There's lots to see.
Big one. Thank you. Don't forget, Mary will be back a bit later if you want some more from Mary. Thank you, Mary.